Well, first question is, do you believe computer-mediated forms of communication, like texting, email, um, is beneficial to relationships?
Beneficial?
Like, are they of any use in a relationship?
From like personal experience or like. Because I
Uh,
mean, from personal experience, like no, Archer, because like people are really annoying and clingy, and I don't like people. So
mm-hmm.
I mean, like really, it's just not a good idea.
Like, so in an overall, texting and email and such things are not good for relationships.
Yeah, I look really awkward in this position. No, I don't really think so because like you need time apart from your significant other. I guess it could be in a way, but like not super, like really like great or anything.
Okay. Uh,
Deadly epidemic everyone is ignoring.
do you believe it's possible to have a strong, healthy relationship with someone when you use like what is it, texting, email as a primary source of communication?
So like you have an internet relationship, like you
Yes.
met someone in like Texas or something, and you
Yeah.
talk to them over the
Yeah.
internet. Yeah, I mean, I did for a couple of years. It didn't end well, but I mean, yeah, because it depends on how strong your relationship is. Because like, if you're not like really strong or like you really don't like them, then you're not gonna last long.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like people that go into the military do it all the time.
Okay. Now, do you
Shit.
do you believe that when you're using texting or email that you act any differently or like talk any differently? Like, are you more open when you're using these computer-mediated forms of communication than if you were talking to someone in person?
Nah.
You, yeah. Okay. I mean, you don't think you say, I mean, like, are more open when you're texting than you are in person?
No.
Okay. That's all my
No,
question.
I'm like the same because like I'm obnoxious anyways, so like I'm just as obnoxious over the internet. I don't really care.
Okay. Hold on.
I don't really like pick fights over Facebook or anything. Like if somebody pisses me off, I'm gonna tell them anyways, regardless if they're in front of my face or if they're on Facebook. I may be a little more mad in person than I am on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Like if somebody pisses me off on Facebook, I'm gonna be like, yeah, whatever. But if I'm like they piss me off in person, I'm gonna be like, just blow up in their face.
One of the beliefs with this hyper-personal communication is that you're more open or that you end up like having, you're more intimate. Like, you talk more personally over texting or email than you would in person. You'd be talking about yourself more.
No.
Mediated forms of communication, texting, email, that sort of thing, is beneficial to relationships.
I think they're very beneficial in some cases. In other cases, they are not. I think it depends on the relationship and the person.
So, just depends on the relationship.
Yeah, it depends on both parties.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Um, so, it's just, in most situations, do you think it helps relationships?
No.
No. Okay. Well, you kind of answered it. Do you believe it's possible to have a strong, healthy relationship with texting or email being the primary source of communication?
No.
Okay. Like, can you explain why? Like, is it?
I can relationship is a lot of it. Relationship kind of centers around actually being together. I mean, in a relationship, you are with the other person. If you are never active with the other person and you only ever hear their voice or get text messages from them, you're not actually with them. I think it's very important to actually have that human-to-human interaction.
Now, do you believe that you act differently when you're texting or like using other like chats room or anything like that.
Yeah, I think that when you have the chance to think about what you're gonna say with texting, I mean, you can have a half an hour to respond to one simple text, and you can think up something witty or something smart or a complete lie. So it's not really the truth. And also, when you're online, you can be anyone or do anything. I mean, on Facebook, I'm like 43, but I mean, the only people that know are my close friends and me. I mean, it's very easy to lie.
Yeah. No, my topic's the hyperpersonal communication. It's hyperpersonal model, which says that people are more open when they're texting or anything like that, or communicating using computer-mediated forms of communication. And they've got all sorts of different reasons for why, but do you believe that you'd be more honest when you're trying to...
I think that it could have both effect. I think that it could make me lie much easier, but I also think that if I'm not seeing the person, I'd be much more truthful to them. Especially if it's someone that I don't really like. I think that without having to see the person's face, it's a lot easier to be honest. Especially if it's hurtful.
Yeah. Yep. That's about it.
Okay, cool.
Forms of communication, which is like texting, email, chat, and that kind of stuff.
To my belief.
Do you believe that it's beneficial in a relationship?
What were the examples? Texting,
Email, like chats.
I think it can be both, because it could definitely be beneficial in terms such as not being able to talk to your significant other in a long time. Like, if you're away for like weeks apart, it's pretty good to be able to text them or chat with them online. That's like a really good thing, but it can be pretty bad too, because once if you see each other every day and you're also talking online all the time, that can, first of all, that can just be too much to handle for a relationship. Like, and another thing that also is like not very good about it is that you'll run out of things to say. You're the person that you're talking to, because you see each other all the time, you talk all the time, and sometimes it's just good to be away from them, so they can experience things that you haven't, and can talk again.
So, like, overall, do you think the texting, email, that kind of thing really helps relationships? Like, I mean...
assuming that everyone sees their significant other with, like, on an everyday scale or an every other day scale, I think it doesn't really help that much. If it was more of a weekly thing, it probably would help a lot.
So it's better for, like, more long-distance relationships?
Yeah.
Okay. So you've kind of answered this. Do you believe it's possible to have a strong, healthy relationship with someone? when you're using primarily texting, chats, and all that?
Oh, absolutely not.
Mhm.
People can lie online very easily. They can manipulate very easily. It's just something. It's not a really good thing to have a relationship based on texting, and that's it's just something to avoid. I personally don't really text that often because I'd rather talk to them in person because, I can actually see their face and tell what they're thinking or how they're feeling, like, instead of just asking them online and then them possibly telling the truth, but most often it's probably a lie.
Mhm.
Is there any part of that question that I missed?
No, you got that. Okay. Next. My topic is the hyper-personal model. It makes it so that it explains that when people are using texting, email, that sort of thing, that they are more open. Uh, they people become closer more quickly on texting and that sort of thing. Do you believe that you are more open when you try and use texting or anything like that?
Texting, I do feel more open because I don't know. When I text someone, I think about how they're going to react, but it's not. It's just different from being face to face with someone. Like if you had a confession to make, no matter how serious it is or not, texting it would definitely be a lot easier than telling someone in person, even though it would be more beneficial to tell it in person. However, on like Facebook and stuff like that, you're talking about websites like that
There's
too?
like upsides too, but it's like Facebook chat, all that kind of, any really text-based communication.
So does posting stuff on Facebook count, or
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like the chat? Okay, because if I was posting stuff on Facebook, I know that, in my opinion, whenever I post something on Facebook, I read what I'm posting on Facebook to make sure, like, I don't offend most people, that I don't make myself look dumb because of all those trolls out there. That's just kind of like, they're grammar Nazis. But could you repeat the question?
Do you believe you're more open using computer mediated forms of communication? So, are you more honest?
Oh yeah, on Facebook I am. If it was Facebook, I'm honest, but I tend to leave out details.
Well, some of the things I've been finding while researching is they found that people believe they almost censored themselves. They tried to spin. Well, they wouldn't lie about what they did, but their motives and everything, they changed that so it seemed like they were better.
Yeah, I can definitely believe that. I mean, I know people. Well, I don't know people, but I see people on Facebook that, post. They post stuff that makes them look good, but when you see them in school, you can just tell that they're just a terrible person by, like, to put it nicely. And I see why people do that, because, I mean, if you were looking for a job, people would check your Facebook, and you wouldn't want to say, like, oh yeah, 420 leads, go smoke pot and stuff like that. But I don't censor myself. I just talk in a way that won't offend people online.
Yeah, you just you kind of hold back on this.
Yeah, because when I'm with my friends, like just talking, I mean, I know what they think is offensive, and I know what they know what I think is offensive. They know what I know what they think is funny and stuff. So I'll make a joke. It might be going over the line, but they're my friends. If I was to do that with Facebook, if I were to do that with Facebook, it would definitely start an argument, and that's just something that it's just better to be avoided. Because why get into an argument when you don't need to?
Well, that's about it.
About it?
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Thanks.
Wonderful.
Yep. Are beneficial to relationships.
They can be. I think that it helps people stay in touch more easily anyway.
Do you okay? You believe it can be more beneficial or be
Yeah,
beneficial?
sometimes it can not be beneficial because if the other person types stupidly, and then you're like, I like this person in real life, I don't like them on the internet.
Okay.
Yeah, there are definitely people I feel that way with.
So you believe that it? Are there any thoughts on like the drawbacks to texting and emailing and all
Obviously, not being able to see the other person, tone of voice, it's kind of the obvious ones.
that? Okay. Now, do you believe that it's possible to have a strong, healthy relationship where the primary source of communication is texting, email, that sort of thing?
I'm not so sure about that one.
Okay. Why not?
Probably not.
Why not?
Because there does, in my opinion, need to be a more physical part to it, actually being able to see the person, talk to them. I can't imagine just being able to text a person and not see them. I'd be miserable.
Okay, so do do you believe it's possible if you did see the person every once in a while? How often would you need to see them?
Every few weeks. I don't think I could go more than that without seeing someone and being okay and still have the same strong, healthy relationship. The relationship can still be there. It just won't be as strong as otherwise.
Okay. Now, do you believe that my talk is the hyper-personal model, and it states that people believe that people are more open and honest when they're talking through text, chat, email. Do you believe you're more open when you're texting or any of that?
Sometimes, yeah, because it's easier. It's just kind of a cop-out. You don't so much need to deal with the immediate effects of what you say.
Okay. Like, so you feel like you are more open, like, are you more honest than you would be in person?
Depends on what we're talking about.
Okay.
Like, I'm not going to tell them my address or school I go to, any of that, and I might in person. Because
Okay.
behind the screen, you really don't know who they are, you don't know who you might be talking to. And at the same time, they don't know who you are, and so that makes it a little bit easier. But with like texting somebody you know really well, yeah, sometimes I am more honest. It's just because I don't need to deal right then with the repercussions of what I'm saying.
Now, is being honest, but do you feel like you open yourself up more, like you talk,
You
like
tell me.
No, I want your opinion.
Well, I have this friend who was very open with me over text, but kind of quiet and withdrawn in person at the beginning of our friendship. And for the record, this has happened with more than one person. Male as well as female friends.
Okay. Now, so, as an overall, do you believe that having texting and everything helps relationships? This is like a general thing, like, not that it can, but that it does.
I really think that's too person-specific to be answered in a general way. In my relationships with friends and family and my boyfriend, yes, it does help. But other people, they find that it is unhelpful to them. I think for the wide majority of people, they agree that it is a positive thing.
Okay. That's it.